Welcome back. Today we're going to ask the question, what is apathy? And apathy is something that we haven't really understood very much, but it's very common, and we have different ways that we express it and talk about it, but we're going to explore those today, so stay tuned. Apathy was one of the words of the emotions that was brought about in the English language later on. Most of these were like 1200s, 1300s. This was 1600s before it became an idea that was used in everyday language. And it meant freedom from emotion. Freedom from emotion, or I would say numbness even. We'll talk about that a little more later. Or a passionless existence.
Oh, that's sad.
It's so hard. So many of us, though, experience apathy in one way or another. And if we think about the systems of the body, how does our breathing and our eyes and our heartbeat, things that we've talked about in the other videos, when it comes to apathy, there's a sense of numbness that I connect to when I think about what the body does with apathy. It just things become so much more difficult than they really are. There's a lot of tiredness. People will maybe say, I'm just so tired, I'm tired. When really what's going on is they're feeling an emotion of apathy. Or I just can't motivate myself, or I can't get anything done. And it's really difficult to be in that state, to be in the state of apathy. But it's very common. We just need to learn a little bit more about it.
One of the reasons that apathy shows up in our life, if we are dealing with something that's very painful or difficult, maybe a severe disappointment or trauma or something hard, a lot of times we just can't bear to feel the pain, and so we shut everything off. And it goes back to that definition, we become emotionless. And that state of emotionless feels better than the state of feeling the pain. And so while that can be a good coping mechanism for a time, it's helpful sometimes to say, I just can't care about this, or it will be too much. Now that's certainly understandable, but we don't want that to become a long-term solution, because what you end up with is the second definition, which is a passionless life. We don't want that to be your outcome. We were born with inherent things that we love and are passionate about and desire and want to achieve and want to create. And so to suppress all of that is really a hard state of existence. So when we think of the opposite of love is not hatred. The opposite of love is apathy. Because if you think about loving something, you care deeply about it. You feel connected to it. You feel, you have a lot of feelings about it. And when you're in a state of apathy, none of that applies. And so apathy is really a state of indifference. It's a state where you're suppressing all of your emotions, like concern or excitement or passion or motivation. We're suppressing all of that. And because of that, people that are apathetic really can lack a sense of purpose or meaning in their lives. And that's why it's important to identify so that we can shift and change things.
Brene Brown always talks about how we numb, so that there's that purpose of I need to numb in this moment, but we can't selectively numb, she says. We cannot numb the negative without numbing the positive. So while we are numbing the pain, we are also blocking ourselves from feelings of peace and joy. So it's important to when we have this emotion, to do the work to process through it and let it pass through us so that we can move on to something else.
And so we hope that this explanation of apathy helps you maybe identify if that's what you're feeling in your life, if that's what you're challenged with or struggling with. And if so, if you want to subscribe or look for our next episode, we're going to talk about how to move through that state of apathy and get you back connected to life and back to a feeling of purpose, and hopefully help you connect to that reason that you're here. And just know that we believe in you, that we care deeply about you, and that we know you have something great to contribute to this world, and you have a life worth living.